Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, the Drafted Up podcast. Today, we're talking about in-depth, over 100 guys. I'm kidding. That would be a marathon. We'd be here for 6 hours. We are doing our top 100, though. We'll kind of do them in groups of 20, chit-chat here and there, kind of draft discussion, kind of a real lax top 100, because chances are, you've watched the Couch Scout stuff, you kind of know how we feel about these guys. Now it's just stacking them up as a whole. Before we dive in, though...
Put them in the tiers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Put them in the buckets.
Social media, you know where to find us, at DraftedUp_pod over on Twitter. More importantly, though, the show is on anywhere where you get your podcasts, or you can watch it over on YouTube. Search Drafted Up Podcast, like, rate, subscribe, review, turn your notifications on so you know when the new episode's up, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. As always, Nicholas, Theo,
Bernard.
It's the game time. We are 1 week away as of this recording.
We're in the end game now, baby.
Yeah. So, next week, we're going to be posting the show a little early. We're either going to record it Sunday or Monday. It'll be our final mock draft, 2-rounder. Before, and then we'll probably take the rest of the week off, come back the following week, and dive into the draft stuff.
Talk about the draft results, dude. We're here. We've made it.
Yeah.
My rankings are locked. No more changing anything. I did a top 175. I got it all locked in. Rankings locked. We're good now, baby. We can sit back and relax.
All right.
Actually talk about some guys, like really, and not worry about ranking guys, watching tape, all that. The grind is done, dude. It's all behind us now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch anybody else unless, like, Todd McShay or Mel Kiper or Daniel Jeremiah are just like, dude, check out this linebacker from East Bumblefuck. And be like, oh, okay.
Slippery Rocks University, mid-Pennsylvania.
Oh, the Vikings had a center from Slippery Rock.
Whoa.
He was pretty good. Dude. I think it was John Sullivan went to Notre Dame. I can't think of his name.
They're one of the better Division II schools for sure.
Yeah. All right. Top 100. Who is the unlucky soul?
101?
Yeah, who is your 101?
Emory Jones, offensive tackle, LSU. I kept trying to get him into my top 100.
Okay, you like him a little.
He's right on the outside. Yeah.
A little more than I do. It was Brandon Fusco was the Minnesota Viking who went to Slippery Rock. He was pretty good.
I was gonna say, like, that guy. Who's your 100? I did not watch that guy this year. Who?
Yeah, you know, like Brandon Fusco. 2011. It was a long time ago. I was trying to see where I have Emory Jones. I have him in like the 120 range. My 101 is a guy who is in the consensus top 100, ranked 67th overall in consensus boards, and that's edge rusher Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. Didn't make the cut. 101.
All right.
Yeah.
He's on. He's in my 100.
Yeah,
but
I figured he would be. You were higher on him when we just did our edge episode.
We'll hear him pretty soon, though, for sure.
Yeah. All right. You want to start 100 to 81?
81. Yeah, sure. I got it. Quick turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. Here we go. Number 100, Noel Williams, cornerback from Cal.
Wow.
99, Troy Horton, wide receiver, Colorado State. 98, Tay Felton, wide receiver, Maryland. I'm going to stop giving numbers at this point. I'll give, like, in-between numbers. Joshua Farmer, interior defensive line, Florida State. Femi Aladejo, edge, UCLA. Cameron Williams, offensive tackle, Texas. 94, Landon Jackson, edge, Arkansas. 93, Savion Williams, wide receiver, TCU. Jordan Branch, edge, Oregon. Charles Grant, interior offensive line, William & Mary. Omar Norman Lott, interior defensive line, Tennessee. Jordan Pascal, cornerback, Kansas State.
Paris,
yep. Josiah Stewart, edge, Michigan, 88. Andrew Makuba, safety, Texas, 87. Terrence Ferguson, tight end, Oregon, 86. Kyle Kennard, edge, South Carolina, at 85. Jack Sawyer, there he is, edge, Ohio State at 84. DJ Giddens, running back, Kansas State, 83. 82, Kyle Williams, wide receiver, Washington State. And then 81, Darian Porter, cornerback, Iowa State. Big body.
I was shocked to hear Noel Williams made the top 100 because
he's great, dude.
When we did our corner episode, you you were way lower on him than I was, and he did not make my top 100.
He was like cornerback 15 or 16. He was right on the outside of my list, and the last couple of days, he's shot up on my list for sure.
I have him at 117, so not too far out. Love to hear Torrey Horton, one of my favorite guys, wide receiver, Colorado State. I had him at 104. I wish
think he's going to be so good, dude. He's going to be amazing.
I really like Torrey Horton and Jalen Lane, who also I had him at 103. I have them back to back on mine. So, where'd you have Joshua Farmer?
97. Way lower than most people.
Oh, no, we're so close.
Oh, okay. He's usually like the 80s, 70s, 80s.
I had him at 96.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. So,
I am going to apologize for my voice still. I'm barely almost 100%, but oh man, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Just the voice, dude. It's just like my vocal cords. Like I can't make weird noises when I'm trying to sing. Like it's still not there. I don't like it.
Okay. All right. My 100.
Who is it?
Chris Paul Jr., linebacker, Ole Miss.
Okay, he's right on the outside for me.
At 99, I had Jordan Birch, the edge rusher from Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
At 98, I have C.J. West, the interior defensive lineman from Indiana. At 97, I have Bashaw Tootin, the running back from Virginia Tech. He was like 18 for me when we did our running back episode. He is now my 14th ranked running back. He just made my cut. Joshua Farmer, as mentioned, the interior defensive lineman for Florida State. I have him at 96. Anthony Belton, the offensive tackle from North Carolina State. I have at 95. Andrew Makuba, the safety from Texas, at 94. Ashton Gelati, the edge rusher from Louisville, at 93. Wyatt Milam, interior offensive lineman from West Virginia, at 92. I said this guy wasn't going to be in my top 100. I lied. Cam Skattebo, running back, Arizona State, at 91. I have him 10 spots lower than consensus. He is
my
81.
mic for that one. That's disgusting.
Yes. RJ Harvey at 90, another running back from Central Florida. 89, Will Howard, the quarterback from Ohio State. 88, Alfred Collins, the interior defensive lineman from Texas. 87, this one I'm way lower on than consensus. Trey Harris, the wide receiver from Ole Miss, at 87. 86, I have Damian Martinez, the running back from Miami. 85, Olafemi Oladejo, edge rusher from UCLA. 84, Tate Rutledge from Georgia, the guard. 83, Harold Fannin Jr., tight end from Bowling Green. 82, Tate Rutledge's running mate, Jared Wilson, another interior lineman from Georgia at 82. And then 81, another guy I'm way lower on than consensus, wide receiver Jack Besh from TCU at 81.
Ooh, hating Jack Besh. You also hate Tate Ratledge, dude. Oh, that one killed me, dude. He's so good.
I hate. That's a strong. I have him 6 spots lower than consensus. His consensus on the big top 100 is 77. I mean 84. I'm
too low, dude.
I'm close on consensus with him. So
the consensus I seen was like mid 60s, dude, and that's where I have him. He's so good.
Athletics top 100 consensus board, which takes all the analysts, all that stuff, has him at 77. That was as of yesterday.
I like him. I like him a lot. He's my 62.
I like Tate Rutledge too, but there's just a couple guys I like a little more than him. I like Jared Wilson, his running mate. I like his upside a little bit more than Rutledge provides. I have him equal with consensus. Jared Wilson's consensus is 82. Let's talk about Cam Skattebo. I know you don't want to.
That guy's a bum. I have him at 125. I am not high on that guy at all.
So his consensus is 81. So I'm even lower than consensus as well. I have him at 91. But his game's good. I know you don't think it translates to the NFL, but his tape's good.
It's not going to.
He's competitive. I don't like him in the third round. Well, I mean, the end of the third round is where I'm comfortable with him. In the 80 to 100 plus range.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him going end of the second. I don't see him at I have him at running back 12. Like I've seen him in top threes, but I think there is a chance that his game does translate like James Conner eventually translated to the NFL, and his game didn't look like it was going to off his college tape at Pitt. But I think Scadaboo is very similar to James Conner. I'd say he's a bit of a better pass rusher, but not as good as a runner. But similar style play. They play tough. They don't blow you away athletically, but they're tough players. They do the dirty work, and you can get wrapped up in the long speed, but like how often do you have 40, 50-yard runs in games? It's not a thing that happens on the reg. Like he does the dirty work where he's just going to average 4 yards a carry, and that's perfectly fine. He's going to get the work done. He takes 3-yard gains and turns them into 7-yard gains.
He's got no burst that's going to translate to the next level. I don't think he has any bit of speed. Like at his best, he's still a worse James Conner. And James Conner went 105 in the draft. So Cam Scadaboo shouldn't go anywhere near that because I don't think he could be as good as James Conner. He's always going to be a lesser version of him. So around 125, and that's where I have him. I don't think he should go earlier than that. I don't think his speed's going to translate. His playing style isn't going to work at the next level. He's way too small to be hitting guys in the NFL like that. At the next level, these guys are bigger and stronger and faster than him at all. Every single guy is going to hit him harder than he got hit in college. I just don't see his game translating at all.
Do you know if he did pro day stuff off the top of your head?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Yeah, because we did running backs way before pro days. Like we did running backs like right after the combine.
Yeah.
So like I don't know off the top of my head if they did. I know he didn't do anything but the explosive stuff at the combine, and he did well in those drills. But yeah, like I said, I'm lower on him, but I see a world where he is a just low end starting running back. Like I would trust him being my starting running back week 1, taking the first carries.
Not.
But not taking the full load. I don't want him taking 20 carries. I'm talking taking.
Yeah, we see him completely different.
Yeah, I think he could be a low end starter at the next level. Pro day, he did run a 4.65, 158 10-yard split, and then he measured in at 5'9", 216.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so he's smaller than like James Conner, David Montgomery, and he's slower than all of those guys as well. I don't think it's going to translate. I don't think he's going to be able to hit guys like he did in college.
Okay. He's a tough kid. He's got a good work ethic. I think there's a chance. Like I said, I'm comfortable with him taking my first carry week 1 this year as the 1A in a committee approach. I don't want him taking 20 carries right off the bat, but I'm comfortable with all 14 running backs in my top 100 being my starting running back week 1.
Yeah, I don't have him anywhere near that. I'm cool with like the 11 guys I would have, but I would take like Bashal Tootin shot up my rankings. He's well above him. I would take Kyle Monungai over Cam Scadaboo. I think they're almost the same kind of guy, and Kyle Monungai just does it, I think, a little bit better. He's bigger, he's powerful. I think there's a better chance Monungai's playing style transfers over to the NFL compared to Kyle or Cam Scadaboo. Oh, my voice still.
Monungai's, I love Kyle. He's 15 for me, so he's just right outside. He's in the same bucket as Scadaboo and Tootin. They are similar players. I think Monungai's floor is a lot better. I think Cam Scadaboo has a little bit better of a ceiling because he provides pass catching work, whereas Monungai, not really his cup of tea. But I think there's like if I had to place a bet on who has a longer NFL career, I'm going to take the safer bet on Kyle Monungai because I think he's a guy that's going to stay on rosters
for sure
as an RB3 because he's just a steady guy. But I think Cam Scadaboo's ceiling is a lot higher than Kyle Monungai's. I would also trust Monungai taking my first carry this year, week 1.
I would trust him way more than Cam Scadaboo, for sure. I think he's more consistent. He's more... his playing style is going to translate. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. Cam Scadaboo's just, he is not my cup of tea whatsoever.
Anyone in that group you want to talk about?
Really, honestly, not even looking at my list. I'm looking at my running back rankings. Troy Horton, he's going to be a really good receiver from Colorado State. I think his 2023 is way better than his 2024.
Agree.
He's going to be really good. He takes a long stride. He's a longer receiver. He's not big, but he's going to be good. Tay Felton, I love a lot. I've talked about him a lot. I'm a lot lower on consensus than Landon Jackson. I almost have him out of my top 100. He's not really my cup of tea when it comes to edge rushers, but I do see a world where he is way better than I have him ranking. The way you look at Scadaboo, Landon Jackson could easily be one of the best pure pass rushers in this class. But
where'd you have Jackson?
Landon Jackson at 94.
94. Okay, I'm at 64, and I'm still lower. Consensus is 41 for him. So
yeah.
And we just talked about him. I do see the world where he looks like a robot. I get that.
He is
the
insane.
way he moves is weird, but like I think his play style really is something that can move on to the next level. You want to talk about Jack Besh? You want to? So I'm lower on him. I like him.
I'm at 75.
Okay, so you're a little bit high. Like I'm at 81. Consensus 55. So even then, we're still lower on consensus, and like I'm still not wavering on Xavier Restrepo, who I have an 80. He would be the next guy up on the list.
I don't even have Restrepo in my top 100.
You wavered.
I didn't. He didn't move at all. He's still my wide receiver 13, 15 now. Okay. He dropped 2.
I was gonna say when I dropped
2 or 3 spots, but
when I dropped him to 11, you were like, "Oh, now we're the same on him." So I was like, I figured he was gonna make your list.
He's right on the outside. I think the only person that jumped in recently has been Troy Horton, and that's it. I haven't really wavered at all. I still really like Restrepo. I don't care about his testing numbers.
Yeah,
he's my 113. He's my first receiver out.
He dropped on mine. I had him at 8, I think, when we did our receiver episode, and now
you had him a little bit higher than I did.
He's my wide receiver 10 now. So he dropped 2 spots. Jalen Royals propelled into my top 10. But I still like Restrepo's game. I like Jack Besh's game. I just think their ceilings
they're
in terms
very
of
safe.
The NFL level are low end wide receiver 2s, high end wide receiver 3s.
Yeah, that's what they are. I mean, do you have Savion Williams in your top 100?
No, he barely made my top 20 wide receivers, and that never changed. Yeah, talk. You're still in on him.
I'm still on him. I think the NFL is going to be in on him.
I just think I feel the same way I did when we talked about on our receiver episode. I just think he's a flash in the pan guy. I don't think he has any long stay power. I just don't see his game being a consistent translator to the NFL. Like I could see times where he gets big boom plays. But I don't think he's going to put it all together. Like, I don't see him more as like a wide receiver 4 gadget guy who's going to get 300-400 yards a year and 100-200 rushing yards. Like, I see him as like Cordarrelle Patterson, like the last 2 years, not high end Cordarrelle Patterson like he was a running back in Atlanta. He
can't do that because when you try to hand the ball off to him, he doesn't have the running back vision. But he's good when you screen the ball and he gets open lanes and he can make his own moves. I think he's at most a wide receiver 3, but he's a guy that you can put on the field and design plays for, scheme him the ball. He truly depends on scheme fit. If he goes to a place that's not a heavy offensive ran team and it's a defensively minded coach, he's going to crumble and it's just not going to work out unless he has a really good offensive coordinator, but that again falls onto an offensive mind. He needs to be molded and be able to just grow. You need to tell him exactly what you need him to do, or he's not going to do it. But if he has the perfect layout and the support around him, I think he'd be a really good number 3, huge flashy plays. I'm talking like a screen pass turned into a 70, 80-yard touchdown in a blink of an eye. He's super explosive.
Yeah. His game, he's fun. I just think he's too big play dependent. I don't think he could do small stuff, and I just don't see that working at a consistent rate in the NFL.
He reminds me of Jamison Williams coming out of college, but a way lesser version.
Way less. Jamison Williams in like my top 10 when he was coming out.
That's what I'm saying. Jamison Williams should have been a top 15 pick, and he was, to where I think Savion Williams still has a chance to go top 60, though. I think NFL teams are going to love him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree. I think he ends up going. Like I have him.
I don't think he falls out of the second, and if he does, it's going to be barely.
I think he's a third round pick. I think that's when you can kind of take your shots on those guys. I don't know how to spell his name. I have him at 132.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, he's not. Like I said, I just don't buy. Like he's too big play reliant. I just don't think it's going to work at a consistent level. And even in the right situation, I still think that's just best case scenario.
He's your Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, but I understand him going higher. I think the NFL loves those like third round. I think a team's gonna be like, I love this guy. I want to just let me mold it. Like San Francisco could take him in the third round. It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be in the second round though. I think some team's gonna bite on him and just be like, oh, we need a huge big play receiver, because there's not many of them in this class to begin with. This class of receivers isn't bigger, like explosive big play receivers. They're more short, intermediate routes, quick hands, quick feet. Savion Williams isn't that. Savion Williams is like, it's either going to be a horrendously disgusting looking play, or it's going to be on the top 10 of ESPN flashy highlight plays, because he's just, if you give him 3 plays a game, one of them could easily be a touchdown.
Do you think he goes before Trey Harris? Because I see Trey Harris like I do.
Yes. I think he goes before Trey Harris.
A better version of Savion in terms of just big playability. Trey Harris, I think, lives and dies by the deep ball.
I'd really like Trey Harris.
I'd rather take my shot on Trey Harris in round 2 than I would Savion Williams. 100 out of 100 times. I
think Trey Harris is for sure going to be a third round pick, where I think Savion Williams could fall into the second round.
See, I think a team's gonna bite on Trey Harris in round 2, and then I think a team's gonna love the developmental skills of Savion in round 3.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I don't think there's anyone else really in there. I've talked about Jack Sawyer.
I have Terrence Ferguson at 86. Where do you have him? Because I want to talk about him, because he's going to go pretty early. I think he's going to be like a second or third round pick.
Terrence Ferguson, I have at 72. His consensus is 87, so we're both a little higher on him than consensus. I have him where he's still my 5th tight end.
Yeah, he's my tight end 5.
I like his game a lot. I think
he's like a poor man Colston Loveland, dude. Like, if you can't hit on Colston Loveland, if you miss out on him, because he's going to go early, I expect you and I have him very high on our top 100s.
Yeah.
But Terrence Ferguson almost does exactly what he can do.
Yeah.
Terrence Ferguson ran the fastest 40 out of the tight ends. He's super explosive. He's big body. He takes long strides. I really like Terrence Ferguson. I think he's going to go a lot earlier than people think.
Yeah, I think there's a chance he could sneak into the back end of round 2. Like, there's a lot of rumors going around that Philadelphia is in on the tight end market. They might be targeting Mason Taylor. But say they pass on Mason Taylor at 32, he probably doesn't make it to 64. I think they
definitely
might
not.
Then take the shot on Terrence Ferguson at 64.
Ferguson. Yeah, no, I agree. I like Ferguson a lot. Him in Oregon, though, it just all worked out. Like, Dylan Gabriel just had all of these weapons. Him, Tej Johnson, who's in this draft class. What's his name? Evan Stewart? Is that his name?
Evan Stewart. He went back to school. Yep.
Thank God. If he would have came out, he would have been towards the lower end of like the 120s probably. But he has a chance to be a first round pick if he explodes, dude. Because he's supposed to be that guy.
I think the NFL is going to love him.
I agree. I think he's going to go pretty early next year if he is able to be more consistent and more relevant in Oregon. He kind of didn't live up to his hype this year.
All right. So I have Harold Fannin Jr. in here at 83.
I have him at 76.
Okay, so you have him over Ferguson still?
Yeah.
Okay. I have him close, 72, 83, a little less, a little more than 10 spots between them. He's another guy. I think.
No, I lied. Terrence Ferguson's 6. I was miscounting tight ends, but Terrence Ferguson's my tight end 6. I have 6 in my top 100.
Okay.
Him, Flanagan Jr., and then the 4 above him.
Yeah. And,
I think Flanagan adds another element to his game where Ferguson kind of misses out. Like, he's way smaller. He's not as dynamic as Ferguson. And I get that.
He's like Ben Sinnott last year. He can do a little stuff out of the backfield. He's more receiver.
For sure. He can play halfback.
I have him at 83. You have him at 76. You said.
Yeah. Yep.
94 is his consensus, so we're both higher on him than consensus. But I like him middle third round as just
Yeah,
this
for
guy.
sure.
Like, I really like him to Denver.
Yeah, it
Because
all depends.
he's
What
similar
Denver
to
does at 20 really just predicts their next couple picks because they can
yeah.
go, if like Hampton falls to them at 20, they can snag him, then they're not going to go running back later. Or if Loveland falls to them at 20, then they're tight. But there's so much Denver does, dude. I can't wait for our 2-round mock. And you and I do a 7-round mock off the side with our buddy Merck. I'm super excited just to talk about all these teams and what their options are, dude.
I don't think Denver takes Hampton. I don't think he's the back Sean Payton wants.
I think if Hampton's there, I think they're taking him.
I don't.
I do.
I think Sean Payton's all in on like Trevion Henderson. Like I think there's a good chance
he's not going to be there at their pick. Like not their first. He's going to be there at their second.
I think Denver moves back. I think Denver's a trade spot that someone tries to jump Pittsburgh to get a quarterback. Yeah. So Denver could be drafting 33 or 34. Trevion Henderson's there likely. I think that's when they bite the bullet. I heard Daniel Jeremiah say that he's heard some scouts say they think Hampton's going second round now. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think he should go first round, but we'll get to Hampton.
I don't see him falling out of the first.
Yeah. 80 through 61. You want me to go first here?
Yeah, it don't matter.
All right, 80, I have Xavier Restrepo, the wide receiver from Miami, as I mentioned. At 79, I have Ozzie Trapillo, the offensive tackle from Boston College. 78, I have Darian Porter, the corner from Iowa State. 77, I have Dylan Sampson, the running back from Tennessee. 76, I have Jonas Savanaia, I have him as a guard from Arizona. 75, my dude, Jarquez Hunter, the running back from Auburn. I cannot quit this guy's tape. He is still one of my. I don't think he goes top 100, but I'm still all in. I still see the path that he is a really good running back. 74, I have Charles Grant from William and Mary. I have him as a tackle. Devin Neal, running back from Kansas at 73. Terrence Ferguson, tight end from Oregon at 72. Jalen Milroe, quarterback from Alabama at 71. Trevor Etienne, another running back I can't quit, at 70 from Georgia. 69, very nice, Omar Norman Lott from Tennessee, the interior defensive lineman. 68, Carson Schweschinger, the linebacker from UCLA. 67, Princely Uman Mielen, the edge rusher from Ole Miss. Jalen Royals, the wide receiver from Utah State at 66. Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Louisville at 65. Landon Jackson, edge rusher, Arkansas, 64. This one's going to kill you. Darius Alexander, 63, interior defensive lineman from Toledo. Braden Swinson, edge rusher, LSU at 62, and TJ Sanders at 61, the interior defensive lineman from South Carolina.
All right. So we're doing 80 up. All right.
80 to 61.
80, Jared Wilson, interior line, Georgia. Okay. 79, Ashton Gelati, edge, Louisville. Alfred Collins, interior line, Texas. Damian Martinez, running back, Miami at 77. 76, Harold Fanning Jr., tight end, Bowling Green. 75, Jack Beck, TCU, wide receiver. Talked about both those guys. 74, Jordan James, running back, Oregon. A running back that I cannot quit. So we're kind of throwing running backs into this territory that we just can't get enough of. 73, Wyatt Milam, offensive tackle, West Virginia. 72, Princely Umami Ellen, Ole Miss. 71, Devin Neal, running back, Kansas. 70, Jalen Royals, wide receiver, Oregon State, or Utah State, my apologies. 69, Ozzie Trapillo, offensive tackle, Boston College. 68, Dylan Sampson, running back, Tennessee. 67, Marcus Mabo, interior line, Purdue, your guy.
Marcus Mabo, baby.
Your guy, for sure. 66, Jalen Milroe, quarterback, Alabama, so we both have him in this territory.
Mm-hmm.
65, Braden Swinson, edge, LSU. 64, Trey Harris, wide receiver, Ole Miss. 63, Jonah Savanella, whatever it is.
Savanaia.
Big Jonah. I also have him as a guard. I think he's going to kick inside. Arizona. 62, Tate Rutledge, guard with Georgia. 61, JT Tuimoloau, edge, Ohio State, JTT for shorter.
Okay.
So where'd you have Milrow?
I had Milrow at 71.
Okay, I'm at 66, so it's pretty close.
Yeah, I think you value quarterback positionally a little more than I do, because I love Tyler Shuck. I didn't hear him in yours where I have him at 65, and
no, I have him in.
I adore Tyler Shuck, but
I have him at 55.
Okay, but quarterbacks,
I think Shuck is amazing, dude. The way he can sling a ball, dude, it's right there with Cam Ward.
You don't got to tell me. I've been on Tyler
I think
Shuck.
There's a chance. I think there's a legitimate chance he goes in the first round.
Hey, I would love to see it, but
I think it's a possibility.
I'm not pushing quarterback. We'll get to that.
We'll get the quarterbacks for sure.
There's only one quarterback I would take in the first round.
Yeah, man, and I wouldn't be surprised if 4 of them get taken in the first. I would be fine with that.
I mean, it's a quarterback league. I understand that, but I personally 100%. Could not bring myself to pick someone that's not Cam Ward in the first round. And if I had to pick one of them, it'll be...
As a Giants fan, I'm like, hey, man, you know what? If we got to take a 26-year-old rookie at the back end of the first round, let's roll the dice. Who cares?
Okay. But Jalen Milrow, I'm at the point. I've told you this multiple times here in the last week as we've just kind of talked about quarterbacks. Like I said, I'm not one who, I don't want to push these guys into the first round because I don't think they're first-round guys. And I think they're only getting pushed in because they're quarterbacks, and I think that just leads to a world of failure. And I'm at the point where I would just rather sit and wait and let everybody push Tyler Shuck, Jackson Dart, Shedeur up draft boards. And I would take Jalen Milrow. And he's starting to get pushed up draft boards. But I think Jalen Milrow's ceiling is higher than any quarterback not named Cam Ward in this draft. But his floor is the foundation of a house. It is underground.
Yeah, and it's almost, you can't even almost call it a foundation because it's not that steadily built. It's a cardboard box, his foundation. It's rough, dude. But I get his ceiling's high. I would still say Jackson Dart and Shedeur have higher ceilings. I think both those guys are going to be pretty good.
I don't.
We see both those guys completely different, for sure.
Shedeur is the only other quarterback. If I had to take a second quarterback in the first round, it would be Shedeur Sanders.
My rankings would say otherwise.
Yeah. Tyler Shuck, though, I'm still in. I still love his game. I don't care that he's
for sure
pushing 40.
See, as a Giants fan, I would rather Shuck because I think Sanders' arm would just worry me in the New York wind. It's way windy. The weather would get to him. To where if you go to a dome team, it would be beautiful. To where Shuck in the New York wind, the weather wouldn't bother him, dude. He's 6'5". He's huge. His arm is outstanding. Did you slings the rock, dude?
Did you see the recent combine video of Shuck doing a step back? I don't know what receiver was just running a simple slant, and Shuck threw the ball 15 feet in front of this dude.
No, I did not.
It was one of the worst throws I've ever seen in my life. And draft Twitter's just like, this guy's Tom Savage. They're focusing just on that one.
Oh, my God.
And, I mean, he did lead the FBS in throwaways this past year, but smart quarterbacks are going to throw away the ball.
Yeah.
Some of them were bad, but some were smart decisions. He was getting pressured. There was no play, and he got rid of the ball.
But you also have to think in his mindset. He's missed 3 college seasons due to injuries that they're all fluke injuries. They're broken bones. So he's not going to get hit. Yeah. He's going to do whatever he can to get rid of that ball to not get hit, just to keep his body healthy. So he gets rid of the ball, and I'm cool with that. But don't eat sacks.
I do love Shuck's skill set. I think he's one of, if not the best deep arm guy, accuracy, total package-wise in the draft.
Yeah.
I do worry about the fact that he is going to be 26, and he doesn't have a ton of experience. I'm not worried that he's 26. It's the 26 with the lack of experience that worries me, but...
This was his first college season, full college season. Yeah. Besides the COVID year.
I am most comfortable taking him the beginning of the second round. That's why I think. That's why I don't want to.
I agree. I have him ranked 55. I would prefer to take him in the first.
I think he goes 33 or 34, either to Cleveland or you guys.
I agree.
I don't think, I think one of you guys isn't going to give away the farm to move up to get Shador or Jackson Dart. I think one of yous does, and I think New Orleans is the other team that moves up and gets the quarterback. And then figuring out where Jalen Milroe goes is a whole other mystery in
For
its
sure.
own merit. He can go to LA with the Rams. That would be pretty
I
cool with McVay. He could still somehow end up at Pittsburgh. Maybe they throw away the future draft picks that move back into the second and get him. I don't know. But it will be interesting to see how these quarterbacks do fall out.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very interesting. But what was I going to bring up? I couldn't tell you. Oh, if like the Giants and the Browns, God forbid, don't trade back into the first, I am almost confident the Giants are going to trade into the first for a quarterback. We are apparently super aggressive. We've had them all in for interviews and multiple interviews. We've been with Shadura the last 2 days. Well, the Giants are trading back in for a quarterback. But if we want to jump the Browns and get the 31 with the Chiefs or 32 with the Eagles, we make division trades all the time.
Yeah.
And snack Shuck because that's how it goes. And that's how he would go in the first, is us jumping the Browns.
Well, I think the Browns would have already made. I think you guys will be the second team to move if you're going to move into the first round. I think you're going to let either Cleveland or New Orleans or let Pittsburgh take Shador, and then you guys will make the move. I think you're going to wait for that domino to fall. I don't think you're going to be the ones to force it to happen.
Yeah, but I could definitely see the world where we do force it, though, because I could see us being the most aggressive team on draft day to get a quarterback.
Let's talk those running backs. Jarquez Hunter, running back Auburn, and then Jordan James, running back Oregon.
Do you have Jordan James ranked
in my top 100?
No, outside of what you're I know you did a top 170.
Yeah, I have 200.
Because I have Jarquez Hunter at 166.
I have Jordan James at 167.
That's so funny, dude. We see these guys complete opposites. That is so funny, dude. Jordan James is one of those guys I would be comfortable taking the snaps week 1. I think Jordan James is a solid running back. I think he's a better version of Cam Scatterby. He's going to get 6 yards a carry every single time.
I don't.
He's not going to be the guy he's like a poor man Bijan Robinson, and I get that sounds crazy, but Bijan doesn't take the top off of defenses. Bijan only had 2 runs over 30 yards this year. Jordan James does not do that, but he chips away at defenses and gets 5, 6, 7 yards a carry and just makes a defense tired as hell. And he's still good to go in the fourth, dude. He's running all over teams. He's my RB9. I love Jordan James.
Yeah, he is not for me. The concerns you have with Scatterby, where his play translating to the NFL, that's sort of how I view Jordan James. I just don't think his speed in general worries me for someone who's supposed to be this flashy running back, and his 10-yard split was a 1.63 at the combine, which was worse than Cam Scatterby. The 4.55, I don't know, the burst wasn't there for him. He had a much better 10-yard split at his pro day. It was 1.55, which is on par with Scatterby. 40 was about the same, 4.51. But I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna work. I just worry that his game just doesn't translate. I think sometimes he gets caught up in himself in the backfield, whereas I love just one cut runners, which Cam Scatterby can do that, but he has some tackle breaking ability. That's Jarquez Hunter's stick.
Explains why you love Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah, one cut and go, and he goes. He can bounce off guys, break tackles, but and we're going to talk about DJ Giddens. You had him in 60 something. He's almost in my.
He's my running back 11. He's my first running back in the top 100. I have him at 83.
DJ Giddens.
Yeah,
he's my RB5. He's almost in my top 50.
Yeah,
and he is
he's a one cut back,
cut runner. But I think there's room for him to grow in terms of.
I agree, and that's why I have him
moves
80 spots above Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have him 20 plus spots above Jarquez Hunter.
I'm saying for me personally, I think he's a way better version of Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah.
The way Jarquez Hunter runs, it does not impress me at all. His one cut it's okay, but at best, I don't think it's going to translate to the NFL because he's a below average one cut back to where you get good ones like DJ Giddens, who's going to be a 3rd or 4th round pick. So I'm like super worried about where Jarquez Hunter goes.
Jarquez Hunter led the SEC with 6.4 yards per carry. He produced against all these talented schools that have NFL players. Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, and he was beating them. And that I value. Like, these are the guys he's going to be playing the NFL level, and he was beating them. And he has special teams experience as well. He does punt returns, kick returns. I just think there's a world where, like, maybe there's a team who values them like I do. Like, if he goes to the Chargers, to the moon, baby, he will be their starting running back.
I think the Chargers are going to be looking for more explosiveness this season. I don't think they want like a J.K. Dobbins one cut, doesn't have long speed. I think they want something different. That's why J.K. Dobbins is. That's why he's not back there though. They could have just brought him back.
Well, they brought Najee in.
Yeah, who's way better.
He's a better version of.
Yeah, so why are we bringing in the same back? We don't want two of the same back.
Well, they had Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards averages like 5-6 yards a carry. He's not the same kind of back.
Greg Roman loves those just one cut big backs. I think Jarquez Hunter to LA is a great fit. Najee's only there on a 1-year deal. I'm saying if he ends up at the Chargers, I think there's a world where Jarquez Hunter wasn't in the top 100, so I don't have one.
Okay. Well, the website that you sent me, the NFL mock date database, yada yada, they have him at 189. I don't know if that's true or not or whatnot, but that's way lower than even I have him.
Yeah, I'm in, man. I think he is one of the most slept-on players in the draft.
See, that's how I look at Jordan James.
See, I see a lot of buzz. Like, all the people I watch and listen to, they love Jordan James. I hear the Jordan James buzz.
Oh, I don't hear much of it.
Yeah, like I know Dane Brugler, he has him in his top 10. He has him at 7. And he has Jarquez Hunter at 11. So he's higher on him as well, but I can't find an actual consensus number for Jarquez Hunter. But I just think Jarquez Hunter, and this is a deep class, like the running backs we talked about.
Oh, like, for sure.
There might be a world where teams have Jarquez Hunter as high as I do, and it only takes one team. And if one of those running back needy teams who has just a stopgap guy and they take Jarquez Hunter in the 4th round, I think there is a lot of upside for him going forward. I don't think there's anyone else. Did you have Charles Grant in that group?
No, I had Charles Grant in the first group. I had him at 91.
Okay.
But I have him as interior. I don't think he's going to play outside.
Okay, I think I have him as both, but I think there is a good chance he could be developed into a tackle.
I think he could fill in here and there, but I think he's going to get the predominantly of his NFL career is going to be on the inside. Okay. I like him though, for sure. Yeah, top 100 for sure.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable taking him in the 2nd round. I really like him to Seattle in round 2 with one of those picks.
Yeah, he adds a line versatility that they could use. Yep. Even Big Jonah, he can kick outside here and there if need be. Seattle's going to be scooping up one of these linemen for sure, even 2 of them possibly.
Yeah. Carson Schlesinger, was he in your group there, or you have him in the next group?
No, I got him in the next group.
Okay. But we just talked about him. All right.
Yeah, we just did linebackers for sure.
60 through 41. At 60, I have Josiah Stewart, the edge rusher from Michigan. At 59, I have Shamar Turner, the interior defensive lineman from Texas A&M. At 58, I have Benjamin Morrison, the corner from Notre Dame. 57, I have JT Tuimoloau, edge rusher, Ohio State. At 56, I have his running mate, same school, Quinshon Judkins, the running back, Ohio State. 55, I have DJ Giddens, the running back from Kansas State. 54, I have Azarie Thomas, the corner from Florida State. 53, I have Kyle Williams from Washington State, the wide receiver. 52, I couldn't get him in. Elijah Arroyo, tight end from Miami. 51, Josh Connerly Jr., the offensive tackle from Oregon. Do we want to do it like that and then just do our top 50?
Yeah, do that. Stop at 51 for sure.
So this group at 10.
Have you said RJ Harvey?
Yeah, I had him right before Cam Scadaboo at 90. You haven't said RJ Harvey, have you?
He is my 60.
Okay.
He's my RB like 5 or 6.
Okay.
I love RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey, running back, UCF, 60. 59, Kevin Winston, safety, Penn State. 58, Shamar Turner, interior line, Texas A&M. You had him at 59, right?
Yeah.
So we're one spot off. 57, your dude, Tyleek Williams, interior defensive line, Ohio State.
57.
57.
Oh,
Here's another TJ guy. This one,
Alexander.
This one might kill you a little bit more, dude. 56, Xavier Watts, safety, Notre Dame. 55, Tyler Shuck, quarterback, Louisville. We match up here. 54, Isaiah Thompson,
AZ
quarterback.
Thomas.
Yep, Florida State. 53, TJ Sanders, interior, South Carolina. 52, Carson Swetchinger, linebacker, UCLA. 51, like I said, he wouldn't be in my top 100 or top 50, is Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU, right on the outside of top 50.
Okay, so I mean, I had Mason Taylor. I liked him more than Arroyo, and Mason Taylor obviously did get into my top 50.
Arroyo's right on the inside. I love Arroyo,
so
dude.
that's Mason Taylor. I have him at 48. He's just inside.
That's where I have Arroyo, dude, right inside my 50.
Yeah. So I wanted to. I tried, but but honestly, I have Jackson Dart in my top 50. I would personally take Elijah Arroyo over him, but I did squeak some positional value into that because, he's a quarterback, so I understand that he's going to be boosted up boards. But I told you, Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, I nothing to do with any of them. It's
crazy how I have to sit here and defend Shedeur, dude, as an avid Shedeur hater.
I did say Shedeur would be the only other one I'd have if I had to pick a second quarterback in the first round. It's Shedeur Sanders.
They go both in the first round, dude.
So Quinshon Judkins, he's in your top 50.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Okay, so we'll save him.
Okay.
DJ Giddens we touched on. I really like his game a lot. I think there is a chance he could sneak into round 2 depending on when that running back run starts. But I think round 3 he's great for Minnesota, San Francisco, Miami. But Miami I don't think takes a running back.
I'm worried the NFL is not going to like him as much as us media people do. That's my real worry, dude.
I think they will, but who knows? Did you have Benjamin Morrison in that group, or is he in your top 50?
No, he's in my top 50.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Yeah, for sure.
His consensus is 47. I have him at 58, a little lower. The injury does worry me, but if you could tell me there was a clean bill of health and he was fine, if he would have even worked out, he'd easily be in my top 45.
The way I'm looking at it is just no news is good news, dude. And
it's not always the case.
I'm fine with it. I haven't heard otherwise. So as far as I'm concerned,
no news is sometimes bad news.
Nah, nonsense.
Kyle Williams in your top 50?
No, I said Kyle Williams a long time ago, dude.
Oh, did you? I did not hear him.
Kyle Williams is 82.
Okay, I'm at 53. So we got a 30 gap spot between them.
What receiver do you have him at? I have him wide receiver 11.
6, 7.
Ooh. Okay.
2, 4, 6, 8. Can't count. It's my wide receiver 8. He moved up from our wide receiver ranking, I think.
So he's your Trey Harris. That's where I have Trey Harris.
Yeah, I think. I think Kyle Williams. I think he's got maybe the best get off in the class. I think he is a prototypical wide receiver 2. I think he goes round 2. I think he's going to be a really good NFL player. I do. I agree.
I think he's going to be really good. I don't think he's going to go round 2.
I think he's being slept on. I do.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I'm at 82, and I know he's going to be better than that. He's a really good football player. It's just that, I think Jack Beck is just super safe. I love Jalen Royals. I think the ceiling on Trey Harris is out of this world.
I also love Jalen Roy. I have him at 66.
No, I'm just naming the guys I have above him. I can't.
I think Kyle Williams is as safe as these dudes, and I think he's better.
I don't know. I think Jack Beck has a way safer floor.
Besh's speed worries me a little bit. Where I could see him I could see him and Restrepo are a little slower, both of them. I could see where their strong points in college don't work out in the NFL. I don't see that with Kyle Williams.
He could just easily be just a really good number 4. Just a guy that's one of the many guys in Green Bay. He just have one of those kind of careers.
Josh Connerly. He's in your top 50?
Barely.
Yeah, okay. So he's a guy. We did
he's
our
my
offensive
49. He's my 49.
Okay, we did offensive line a while ago, and since that, I've really soured on him. Like I really worry about his base. I think his play's too inconsistent. I think he has a tendency of leaning back too far at times. Like
I have him and Ursary almost in the same bucket, but I would rather Ursary. I think Ursary's just a way more solid right tackle. Like,
well,
there's a chance
I think Ursary is a locked, solid left tackle in the NFL.
I think he's gonna be a right. I think he's gonna be a right.
I think he's playing left. I think he can play left or slide into guard for a year if you need him to.
I look at him and Membu as like he's like the lesser version of Membu. I think he's just gonna be a really good tackle for many years. Where Connolly just might be out of the league if he doesn't pan out.
Yeah. See, I think Ursary is a left tackle true and true. I think he's gonna go. But I love it because I have him in my top 50.
He's gonna go second.
Yeah. I think there's a chance he could go first.
But I mean, Connor. All these guys are going to go. All these tackles are going to go way earlier than we probably have. Tackle,
just like quarterback, little positional value.
Even cornerback. Yeah. Like
Um,
Trapio's going to go early. Wyatt Mimum, whatever his last name is.
See, I don't think Milam's a tackle. I don't think he play tackle at all.
Oh, see, I think he's going to be a tackle.
If he's a tackle, I think he's done in 2 years.
No, I think he's fine.
I think he is a true blue guard, and if I got him in the third round,
can kick in for sure.
I'd lock him in the guard, and I'd be content with that. If I have to play him at tackle, I am shaking in my boots.
I think he'd be fine. I think he'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah,
I'm not going to take him over Trapio. I think Trapio's huge. He can bend. Yeah. He's got good base.
I also have,
but I think he's right there with him.
Milam was 90 something for me.
Okay, I had 73.
Yeah,
I just think highly of him.
I just think he's a guard. I don't think he can play outside. But I do like Trapio. I had him in 78, 79. Let's talk Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo. We're reversed on them, and they're different players as well. Arroyo's this bigger, flashier guy, whereas Mason Taylor's a little bit more all-around player, but they're built similarly. Arroyo's going to beat you at the big plays, whereas Mason Taylor's not. He's going to work the field. Mason Taylor kind of reminds me of Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, so it makes sense that Philly seems to be in on him.
For sure.
Whereas Elijah Arroyo
moves better than Dallas Goedert, but he's built just like him, and he can.
Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert moved pretty good when he came out.
Yes, exactly. At this point in his career, yes.
Yeah. But I like his blocking a little bit more, which is why I have
Arroyo
him.
For sure.
Yeah, that's why I have him. I think he's a more all around. I think Arroyo's ceiling is way higher. Like if 3 years from now we're talking about Elijah Arroyo as even the best tight end in this class, it would not shock me a little bit. Like I could see
there's a chance he's the best fantasy value tight end easily in this class.
I could see the world where like the injuries they just kind of left behind in college, and he's just this way better pro player.
Oh, for sure.
Like Tyler Warren plays tough. Like he could get banged up in his career. He might play that role where like he just doesn't provide a lot in the receiving game because the team doesn't need him to, like George Kittle. Whereas, like, I think production level wise, I think Elijah Arroyo could be.
George Kittle's like 1,000-yard receiver every year.
Yes, but he has big games. He's not.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
There's times
but that's just the Niners' offense.
Yeah, but I think that could be Tyler Warren as well. But
yeah,
like I think there is a chance Elijah Arroyo could be the most productive tight end in terms of numbers.
Yeah, no, that's why I have him over Taylor. I think his stats are going to blow Taylor's out of the water if they're both at their highest, like, projected level.
Yeah.
Obviously, Taylor's more rounded, but if Arroyo's able to do what he did last year in Miami at a consistent level in the NFL, he's going to dominate, dude. He's so fast, so big. His average yards per catch was like over 10 this year, some crazy shit like that. He's so powerful at the point of catch, too. Like, he had like 0 drops, too. And his catches are far as shit down the field for a tight end. I love his game.
I have him outside those three, Taylor, Loveland, and Warren. Durability does worry me a little bit. That
for sure.
Yeah, so that's why I have him behind Mason Taylor. But I love both guys. I think both should go in round 2. I don't know if Arroyo does. The NFL seems to be way
I think he
higher on
does.
Taylor than us. Like, I have Taylor
think
at 48, and Taylor's consensus right now is 39.
Yeah, Taylor's going to go. There's the talks to Philly. I don't think that actually happens. But I don't think Taylor falls out of like the first 10 picks of the second. And I think Arroyo shortly follows him.
I don't think Philadelphia stays at 32. There's no world where I think Harry Roseman's moving up for someone.
I mean, yeah, they like to do that.
Yeah.
But there's a chance they also just move back, stack some picks, pick a couple defensive linemen later in the draft, and just be happy where you're at. Philly could literally do anything. They're in a position that they don't need to do a certain thing at all. Whatever falls to Philly at 32, it'll happen.
Yeah. All right. You have Braden Swinson in your top 50?
No, he was 65.
Okay, I had him 62. I didn't remember you saying, and I was like, wow, Braden Swinson, top 50. Kind of like it. All right, top 50. We'll do 50 to 31.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So at 50, I have Jalen Knoll, wide receiver from Iowa State. At 49, I have my dude, Marcus Bowe for Purdue.
That's
offensive dude. I think he is so good.
I love it. Love it.
Mason Taylor, tight end, LSU at 48. Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss at 47. That's how I felt when you said Tyleek Williams at 57 or wherever you have him.
You did freaking Alexander dirtier than I did Tyleek Williams. Where did you have Alexander? 60-some?
63. Second round pick.
And that's, what the heck? And you're bitching about me having Williams at
I think Williams is a lot better.
57? No way.
Yeah. Okay. 46, Ariante Ursary, the tackle from Minnesota. 45, Maxwell Hairston, the corner from Kentucky. 44, Kevin Winston Jr., the safety, Penn State. 43, this one's also going to hurt you. Gray Zabel, the guard from North Dakota State.
Hell, dude, where do you have him?
43. Only 9 spots
Jeez
lower than
Louise.
consensus. His consensus ranking's 34. So I'm
I
only
can
a
tell
little
you,
bit lower.
I got him 10 spots above that, brother.
Yeah. Luther Burden, wide receiver at 42. James Pierce Jr.
42.
James
Luther Burton.
James Pierce Jr., the edge rusher at 41. Donovan Jackson, guard from Ohio State at 40. Demetrius Knight Jr., linebacker, South Carolina at 39. Trey Amos, the corner from Ole Miss at 38. Tyleek Williams, interior defensive lineman, Ohio State at 37. Nick Emanwari, safety, South Carolina at 36. Tyler Booker, guard, 35, Alabama. 34, Trevion Henderson, the running back from Ohio State. 33, Kenneth Grant, the defensive tackle from Michigan. 32, Jaden Higgins, wide receiver, Iowa State. And 31, Caleb Johnson, running back, Iowa.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't think we had any spot on that time. You have Demetrius Knight high as hell, dude. I love that. Love it. He's my 50. 50 Demetrius Knight linebacker.
So
he's good.
We talked about it in the linebacker episode. I just couldn't quit watching him.
He's like a straight downhill, in your face, blow you up at the line kind of linebacker.
I don't think he goes second round. Obviously,
I think Sweatchandler goes before him.
I agree. I think Sweatshirts, he's got more tools. He's toolsier. You can mold him a little bit.
Yeah.
He's flashier. He's raw. But I think Demetrius Young, third round.
Demetrius Knight.
Yeah, Demetrius Knight. Third round, you're getting a starter.
For sure.
And that's where
every down linebacker too.
That's where a lot of the safe linebackers are going to go third round, fourth
late
round.
Second, early. Yep. So yeah, he's my 50. Josh Connerly, offensive tackle, Oregon, 49. Elijah Arroyo, tight end, Miami, 48. James Pierce Jr., edge, Tennessee at 47.
Oh, wow.
46, Donovan Jackson, interior, Ohio State. 45, Ante Ursary. Ariante. Ariante, what a crazy name, dude. Ariante Ursary, offensive tackle, Minnesota. Look, dude, I apologize to all these kids. I just watched your tape. I don't know your names. Some of these are crazy hard to pronounce. 44, Trey Amos, cornerback, Ole Miss. 43, Jaden Higgins, wide receiver, Iowa State. 42, Jalen Noel, wide receiver, Iowa State, back to back. 41, Benjamin Morrison, cornerback, Notre Dame. You asked
Love
about
that.
him.
Love it.
40, Mikael Williams, edge, Georgia.
Hater.
You're going to have him high. Oh, yeah, for
Hater.
sure. 39, Nick Imawore, safety, South Carolina. 38,
Okay.
Maxwell Harrison, cornerback, Kentucky. 37, Trayvon Henderson, running back, Ohio State. 36, Caleb Johnson, running back, Iowa. 35, Nick Scorton, edge, Texas A&M. 34, Quinyon Judkins, running back, Ohio State. 33, Darius Alexander, interior line, Toledo. 33, yes, sir. 32, Shamar Stewart, edge, Texas A&M. Wow. 31, Kenneth Grant, interior line, Michigan.
Okay, we're close on Kenneth Grant. I had him at 33. Nick Imawore, I'm surprised I had him a little bit higher than you did. You had him 39, 36. Similar spots there.
For sure.
But yeah, Tyleik Williams and Darius Alexander. This is our defensive line version of Jordan James, Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah.
Because we have them in similar spots. You have Tyleik low 50s, and I have Darius Alexander at 63. I have him still second round pick, and I said that second round is a good spot for him. I worry about his upside with his age, and his production level wasn't as good at a smaller school, but I think Tyleik Williams is an NFL-ready run defender right off the bat. Like, I almost think I'd rather him than Kenneth Grant, and I have him really close. Like, I go back and forth on those guys.
See, I only look at Tyleik as just a run stopper, and that's all he is. He adds no pass rush at all. To where Alexander can do a little bit of everything. Who else do I have above him? TJ Sanders, I love a lot. I think he could do a lot. And Kenneth Grant, he can split a gap, arguably the best out of any interior guy in this class, dude. He can blow up a double team in a heartbeat. So what these guys bring is just way more what Tyleik brings. But I think he's a second round pick. I think he's a really good at what he does. I just want someone that could do a little bit of everything.
Man, I'd take him in the first almost. Like,
not this guy.
I love.
That's how I look at Alexander, though. I would be fine with Alexander going in the back into the first.
I love him to Buffalo. I think he's I think he makes tackles really well. He's always pursuing guys. I think he's got a great work ethic. I think he's really good at chasing down screens and attacking. I think Tyleik Williams is going to be one of the better players in this draft. Like, I think he is a locked and loaded 10-year plus starter.
High praise for sure. No, I love that. But yeah, we just see them. I think he could play for many years, but I think he's just like a defensive tackle too, a run stopper, nose tackle. I don't think he's going to be I don't think his stats are ever going to pop off the paper at all.
Yeah. Darius Alexander, I like him. I just don't think he has long stay compared to Tyleik. I think Darius Alexander, I see him as a DT2, just kind of, he's always there. He's never going to be the best defensive lineman on his team. Whereas, I think Tyleik Williams could be a difference maker on a defensive line. I think that he's that good of a run defender.
Yeah, his run defending is great for sure, but I like Alexander's ability to be like a 3-4 kind of guy, any of the spots, or even 4-3. You could kick him out outside, play huge line if you really wanted to. Yeah, he's just a guy. I love his versatility. We brought up what's his face last year. He's very similar to him.
Darius Robinson.
Darius Robinson, who I loved at the back end of the first. I think Alexander has a chance to just do exactly what he did.
You had Maxwell Harrison at 38?
Yeah, 38.
Okay. I have him at 45. I ended up moving him above Azaria Thomas. I had Azaria over him when we did our corner rankings. But I did a little bit more dive into Maxwell Harrison, and I kind of see, like I said, he was a straight zone guy when we talked. I kind of do see a world where he could be an okay man cover corner instead of just like a spot man guy. But 45. I think he's a first round guy. I think he ends up going first round. I think the NFL's going to be higher on him.
He could.
He's real traitsy. Like I think Green Bay at 23 is a really good fit for him.
For sure. That's
LA
a great
at
fit.
26. Even Buffalo at 30.
He's very similar to Alexander of the Green Bay kid.
Alexander, yeah. Yep.
He does a lot. Like what Alexander's able to do with his length and his size and his speed, Harrison has the same kind of package. He does the same stuff.
Jalen Knoll, you had him
44.
44. I had him at 50, and you had Jaden Higgins.
Yeah. 43. I know at 42, Higgins at 43. Okay. Back to back of my rankings. They're both so good, dude. I love both of them.
Jaden Higgins at 32. I think if Green Bay wants to take a receiver in the first round, I think Jaden Higgins is their guy. I think he's the receiver they need.
It's so early, but he's going to go so early in the second, a team might have to pick him in the first. I get it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's almost the quarterback thing. Because it's the Savion Williams. There's not a lot of big body. I'm not saying Savion Williams is, but that's the way he plays and he presents himself. But Jaden Higgins is the true big body besides Ted. It's like Ted at the top, but Ted's not going to be there at 23 most likely. So you got guys like Golden, Abuka, Burden, and Burden's getting a lot of rep that he's like a smaller kind of guy. Burden's 6'200". Burden's good size.
He's bulky.
Yeah, he's thick. I really like Burden's size and his frame. But Higgins is he's the legitimate alpha out of all of those guys. So like New England wants a big body receiver. We want a big body receiver. Cleveland is always in the market for a big body receiver.
Tennessee.
So exactly, they're probably looking at receiver at their second or third round pick.
There's the problem.
That's on them. So if Green Bay wants one of these big receivers, there's not many of them. They might have to jump early on Higgins in the first, it's a little rich for my liking, I will admit, but
not for me.
If you want your guy, you got to get him.
I'm completely on board with them taking him at 23. I'd hate it as a Vikings fan. I don't want it to happen, but I think Jaden Higgins is the kind of receiver Green Bay needs.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he goes first, though.
I also don't. I think he's going to be one of the first 6 guys off the board in the second round.
Yeah, I think he's going to be within the first 10 on the second for sure. He's a day 2 kind of guy.
Let's talk Caleb Johnson, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins.
Love them all, baby. I love all 3 of those guys.
You're a little higher on Judkins than me. I have him at 56.
Yeah, I'm at 34.
He moved up. He was my running back 8 when we did our show. He's my running back 6 now.
He is still my running back 3 or 2.
I still worry about his vision at times. Like I went back, watched more, and he still like sometimes just runs into his linemen, and that's what kept me from moving him up higher. Plus, I don't think the testing speed showed on tape. He's a good running back. I don't think he's a bell cow guy. I still prefer him in a committee, but I'm more to that he's the RB1 of a committee than I was when we initially did our running back show.
Yeah, no, I think he could be a true bell cow at the next level. His stuff at Ole Miss is out of this world. And then he gets to Ohio State and he has the competition of Travion Henderson, who's arguably better than him. I know a lot of people that have him ranked above Judkins. I would take Judkins there's a lot of people. I would just take Judkins' pure rushing ability over Henderson. I think Henderson's going to be a really good role player with a 2-back system and just spark an offense and be that thing that an offense is missing. Toward Judkins, I think could go to like San Diego if they're San Diego or LA, the Chargers, if they didn't have Najee. I look at Judkins as almost a better version of Najee to where he can get 1,000, 1,100 yards every single year, just grinding the rock, dude. He's such a big, powerful back. I look at Judkins at like how people think Cam Scadaboo plays. Judkins plays that way.
It's
going to translate. I'm not saying you or anybody, but what the media thinks Cam Scadaboo is going to do at the next level, Judkins does that at such a better level than Cam Scadaboo could ever do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Caleb Johnson, here's where it comes in. I love one-cut runners, obviously, because Caleb Johnson, his consensus is 51. I got him 20 spots higher at 31. I I wavered. He is my RB3. Mario Hampton did pass him, but like when I'm scouting, like I have a tendency of thinking how the Vikings play because that's the style of football. Like ultimately, like I'm looking for guys I want the Vikings to get, and the Vikings Kevin O'Connell plays this one cut system, so like those running backs are like just the guys I kind of filter to. DJ Giddens, Caleb Johnson, Jarquez Hunter, Trevor Etienne, even a little bit. He's a one cut guy, but he's got a little more juice and footwork. But like, I also love Travion Henderson. I think he's an absolute game changer of a running back.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think Caleb Johnson is going to be the third back taken. I don't even know if Caleb Johnson will be the fourth or fifth back taken.
I think his ceilings or where he could be drafted is like RB4, 5, 6 in that range. He's not going to be 3 for sure.
Like
That's going to be Judkins or Henderson for sure.
I think Henderson will be the third back off the board, and then I think Judkins and Scadaboo are the next two backs. And that I'd even say Dylan Sampson has a chance to go over Caleb Johnson. I think the NFL loves Dylan Sampson.
Yeah, there's a chance for sure.
But no, Trevion Henderson I brought up with Denver. I think that's the back Sean Payton kind of wants to move towards, and I think them moving back from 20 to 33 or 34, that keeps them ahead of Chicago, and they can snatch Henderson. Most likely should be there at 33 or 34, and they get their guy who I think Sean Payton would do wonders with.
Yeah, any of these running backs, I would be fine with Sean Payton taking. I would prefer Mario Hampton. I think his skill set is unmatched besides Genty in his draft class, and I think they're very close.
Yeah. I don't think they're close, but I'm more in on Hampton than I was when we did our running back episode. Did you say Tyler Booker?
No.
Okay, so he's in your top 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tyler Booker, I have 35. A little bit lower, but
I love Tyler Booker.
I like him.
I've been on Tyler Booker this whole time for sure.
All these guys are. He's still my guard one.
See, I have Gray Zabel higher than him.
See, I do not.
For sure.
Gray Zabel's my guard 3. I have Donovan Jackson over him too.
Okay.
But all these guys are sort of close. Like Tyler Booker, I think goes first round. I like him to Houston, that range. The late
I think him to Houston's great because he is literally
a culture changer, and that's what they want. That's why they got rid of Tunsil.
Yeah, they need a guy to spark that offensive lineman, and Tyler Booker has nothing but the highest of high praise coming out of Alabama. He has literally been the captain of that team for the last 2 years, and he is a dog. I would love him in Houston. I have him at 28. That's where I got him.
Do we want to do 30 to 20? Just do 10s? Or you want to go 30 to 11 and then just do our top 10?
No, let's go 30 to 20 or give us more chance to talk about these guys or wherever we're going.
So 30, I have Nick Scorton, edge rusher, Texas A&M. 29, I have Shadur Sanders, quarterback from Colorado. 28, I have Kelvin Banks Jr. I think he's going to be a tackle, Texas. 27, I have Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, Ohio State. 26, I have Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle from Ohio State. 25 spots higher than consensus. At 25, he's the 50th consensus guy, safety, Xavier Watts from Notre Dame. 24, I have Michael Williams, the edge rusher from Georgia. 23, Matthew Golden, the wide receiver from Texas. 22, Donovan Ezeraku, the edge rusher from Boston College. And at 21, I have Savone Ravel, the corner from ECU.
Oh, yeah. All right. So what are we doing? We're doing 30 to 20?
30 to 21.
30 to 21. So my 30 is Shadur Sanders. So you actually have Shadur higher than I do, and that's
Let's
hilarious.
go. Still the Shadur guy.
Absolutely hilarious. 30, Shadur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. 29, Donovan Ezeraku, edge, Boston College.
Hater.
28, Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama. 27, Luther Burton III, wide receiver, Missouri. 26, Kelvin Banks, offensive tackle, Texas. 25, Shamar Stewart, edge, Texas A&M. 24, Greg Zabel, interior line, North Dakota State. 23, Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, Ohio State. 22, Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State. Back-to-back Ohio State guys. And then 21, Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Okay. So you have Savone Ravel in your top 20?
No, I have him at 32.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Kelvin Banks. We have him similar. You have 27, I have him 28.
I'm 26.
26, yeah. Okay. We both
People
think he's a
love
tackle.
that guy, dude. Yeah, no, I think he's a tackle.
Yeah, I think
he's going to struggle
guard.
kicking. I think he's going to struggle to kick in.
I think he could kick in for a year or two. Like if Seattle takes him, I think he would play guard early on.
Yeah, he could start at guard this year and then kick out the tackle next, for sure.
But I have him as tackle 4.
As do I.
But I think he could be I think his ceiling's tackle 2. I think there's a world where he might go over Membu because he can play left. Membu, I don't know if he can.
Membu's not going to play left. Yeah. He's a right tackle. But I don't think he goes over Membu, though. No, I think Membu's almost a lock in the top 10.
I think there's a chance he could. But I think he's going over Simmons. I think he's going to go a lot higher than we have. We have a 20.
100%.
I think he's going top 15.
He's going to go top 15, top 20. 100%. Yeah. He's going to go over Josh Simmons. I think Josh Simmons has the highest ceiling out of any offensive tackle in this draft.
Absolutely. But injury concerns, character concerns with him, whereas you're not getting any of that with Kelvin Banks. And,
yeah, for sure. You're getting the clean kid.
And he's a good athlete with a ton of experience, but 40+ starts, but he's still a little raw despite the playing time. But like that comes a long way from a big program. And again, he faced a gauntlet at Texas. He was playing NFL guys all the time. And there's some good, some bad, but I like him. I like him. Yeah,
for sure.
I just think he has a smaller ceiling compared to the guys like Membu and Josh Simmons. Like I have Simmons ahead of him, but I do think Kelvin Banks ends up going way before Josh Simmons.
You have Will Campbell as a tackle?
Yes, I do. I do think he's going.
As do I.
Yeah.
If Josh Simmons was 100% healthy and he played out this whole year, he would not be falling past Miami at 13.
He's a top 10 pick if he plays. Yeah, he's over Membu.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he's a left tackle, he might be over Will Campbell.
And the way he moves, explodes, gets to the next level, he's so athletic for a big dude. I just love Josh Simmons, dude. If he's 100% healthy, he'd probably be my tackle 1 or 2.
If he was healthy and got to do the playoff run with Ohio State, I think he'd be the pick at 4 for New England.
Yeah, no, I could. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
you could definitely see that.
Ton of upside there.
Where did you have him?
I have him at 26.
I'm at 22.
Yeah. So we're same ballpark. Xavier Watts, I have 50 spots above consensus. I said it during our show when we did safeties. Like, if Philadelphia stuck at 32, I wouldn't hate them picking him there. I think he is that good.
I like it.
I think he's that good of a football player. I think he's a game changer level safety. Like, he could flip the field better than any safety in this class. His ball skills are peak.
Yeah, he's really good. I think there's a chance he's there in their second round pick, to be honest.
Possibly it's safety. I also have Kevin Winston boosted. I have Kevin Winston at 44, and his consensus is 66. That's 22 spots more.
I think there's a legitimate chance that Winston goes before Watts. If a team's willing to bite the injury, Kevin Winston's probably my safety 2 in this draft.
And then Savone
That's
Ravel.
Just everyone in this draft. Like all these guys are injured. Like Morrison, Watts, or Morrison, Winston, Josh Simmons. Not what? Winston, Morrison, Josh Simmons, Savone Revel. All of these guys could easily be first-round picks.
Will Johnson.
They're just hurt. Oh, sure. I'm still very high on Will Johnson. I have not stuttered.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he would have been top 5 for me coming into the season. He's not in my top 5.
From his 2023, but that's from his play. It's not from his injury.
Savone Revel, his consensus is 49. I have him at 21. Like, I still think he is an absolute game changer.
He's great.
He's love just the fire he plays with and the upside he brings. And there's a ton of holes in his game. He lets guys beat him, but he uses his speed to catch up, which worries me. And the lack of competition as well, playing at ECU. Yeah. But like his work ethic, his character, I think if he falls out of the first round, you're getting a steal in the second. Like I think he's a guy a team moves up for if he falls out of the first.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Did you put Ibuka over Golden?
No, I still have Golden. I have Golden 21, Ibuka 23.
I know you were you were talking about it, so I didn't know if you did.
I almost did. Abuka's just so safe. Like, Golden worries me. The way he plays worries the hell out of me that
That's
it
fair.
might not just translate. Abuka's going to translate no matter what. There's a legitimate chance Abuka has 85 catches every year of his career. And it's not, it just doesn't waver. He's such a good receiver.
I also think there's a legitimate chance that Emeka Egbuka doesn't get picked in the first round, which I think is dumb.
I agree.
I think there's a world where only 3 receivers end up going first round, and it's Golden, Hunter, and McMillan.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Being Golden, or Abuka falls out of the first, and Burton.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch Luther Burton in the first round. Too many.
I'm cool taking.
The character really works.
That's the only problem.
Yeah. And I would take Higgins over him.
Oh, I would not.
Yeah.
I think Luther Burton has a legitimate chance to be the best receiver in this draft class. And his skill set is so talented, dude.
It is up there, absolutely. I agree. But I worry of the between the ears stuff and the work ethic and him just lackadaisical taking plays off. Like
I get we're always talking about New England receiver. I want him in New England. New England would light the fire under his ass. The coaching staff would stay on top of him. And he gets one of the best young quarterbacks in football. Or he just
burns out and just doesn't.
I don't think that I think he cares too much about his reputation to burn out. He wants to be a star, dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think Luther Burton, he probably has the highest ceiling out of any receiver in this class.
I think the only place I'd be okay with him in the first round is if Sean Payton gets him. Because I think Sean Payton then, he doesn't care about character stuff.
I mean, I'd be cool with Philly as their 3. That would be insane.
Yeah. Philly doesn't utilize their 3s, so that
but they would because it's Golden. They've never had a 3.
Yeah. You mean Burden? You said Golden.
Oh, that's what yeah. Burden. Or even Buffalo. I would love that. I would love Washington. Him, Scary Terry, Jaden Daniels, a great coaching staff, a phenomenal offensive coordinator. Oh, Debo Samuel's there too. That's Washington's such a perfect spot for Luther Burton, dude.
I like Washington with Matthew Golden more than I like them with Luther Burton. I think Matthew Golden is the receiver style play that they're missing.
I look at Golden as just like a one-shot kind of receiver. He runs fast, he runs straight, but I don't even think his 40 times shows. He's got a good route tree.
His route tree, he's so good in the middle of the field. I don't think he's a straight line receiver.
I'm taking Abuka's route tree over him, and I'm taking Luther Burton's route tree over him.
I'm taking Emeka Egbuka's route tree over every receiver in the draft class.
Yeah, for sure. But Luther Burton also runs routes around Golden, dude.
I think in the middle of the field, Matthew Golden is as dangerous as anybody in the class. I think him in the middle of the field, he works the middle so well.
Like, Tet works the middle better than him. Hunter works the middle better than him. Abuka probably works the middle the best out of anyone in this draft.
But I think his catch and run ability in the middle is better than them. Like, I think Luther Burton's catch ability is shorter stuff. Let him do the work on the running instead of catching in stride. I don't think Burton's a catch and stride guy. I think he's a catch and do the work himself. Whereas Abuka, I don't think he's got the best speed after the catch, whereas I think Matthew Golden can be a yak guy. But, like, I have Abuka and Golden clumped together. I have 27 for Abuka, 23 for Golden.
I only have one spot between both of them.
Yeah,
I have a 21 and 23.
And then I have Higgins at 32. Like, I think Jaden Higgins is in that group. I do.
I have him a little bit lower. I would easily take Luther Burton in that group, though. I think all 5 of those guys being Hunter, Tet, Golden, Abuka, and Burton should all be first round picks.
The character stuff with Burton worries me, and that's why he's outside of those guys.
Yeah, I get it. When it comes to receivers, I don't care about on-field stuff, off-field stuff, personalities. Receiver is one of the few positions I do not care about that stuff. I want my receiver to be the most grimiest dirt ball of all time. Antonio Brown is my perfect receiver.
Well, then you should hate Emeka Egbuka because he never wants to be.
But he does everything good. He's so good at everything.
All right.
There's no reason to hate that guy.
22-11. At 20, I have Shamar Stewart, edge rusher, Texas A&M. At 19, I have interior defensive lineman from Ole Miss, Walter Nolan. At 18, I have Amarian Hampton, the running back from UNC. 17, I have Jihad Campbell, the linebacker from Alabama. 16, I have Jalen Walker, the utility defensive player from Georgia. 15, I have Derek Harmon, the interior defensive lineman from Oregon. 14, I have Malachi Stark, safety from Georgia. 13, Will Johnson, corner from Michigan. 12, Jahdae Barron, corner from Texas. And at 11, Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami.
All right. So we're doing 20. 20, Derek Harmon, interior defensive line, Oregon. 19, Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss.
That is truly
18,
disgusting.
He's great.
He's
18, Jahad Barron,
fine.
cornerback, Texas. 17, Jahad Campbell. Jahad Barron, cornerback, Texas, was 18. Jahad Campbell, linebacker, Bama, 17.
Whoa!
16,
samesies.
16, Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan. 15, Malachi Stark, safety, Georgia. 14, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss. 13, Jalen Walker, edge linebacker, Georgia. 12, Mike Green, edge, Marshall. 11, Armand Membu, offensive tackle, Missouri.
Okay.
Jackson Dart.
Sell me. Do your best. I mean, you're not going to sell me.
I can't, because I'm going to sit here and tell you that I look at Jackson Dart as a franchise quarterback. I don't think I think he could fit into any system. What he does at Ole Miss, he does everything well. The short intermediate stuff, he blows out of this world. The middle of the field, he picks apart, and he hits the third level with ease. He's got the arm. His ability to pick up first downs with his legs is bar none in this class. He's so athletic, dude.
I don't think he can process it. I don't.
I think he can.
There was too much for my liking of him. One
because that's all they told him to do,
and then run. That worries me that he can't do it though. So
that's their system.
But
it's I
have to scout the guy based off the system that he plays in. So it's hard for me to project that he can process at the next level.
I think he's going to be able to process.
Processor. I think he is a low end quarterback, and I feel the same about Sanders. But I see Sanders process. Sanders processes at an NFL level. His pocket awareness is abysmal, though. So that worries me. But Jackson Dart worries me that he's just one read and go. And I can't get by a quarterback that I saw zero ability to process. Like, that's what worries me, that I just might not be able to do it. And obviously, NFL teams will get in a room with this guy and they'll know.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's going to do it at their private workouts, too. They're going to have him.
I don't have Jackson Dart's phone number to call him up and be like, hey, can you come over here? I want to run some routes with you, brother, to see if you can process some defense.
I watched more than every game last year because I watched 2023 as well. There were only probably 7 plays, 8, 10 at most, where he looked frazzled in the pocket. He's got great pocket
presence. I'll give you that. He's tough.
Does not get worried in the pocket at all.
His throws under pressure are good.
Phenomenal, dude.
I just worry that he can't process, and like a legitimate NFL defense blitzing him, like Florida gave him fits and he threw all those interceptions. And Florida,
that all came at the end of the game when he knew he had to go out into the field and win the game. All those passes had to be made. And he never once looked frazzled making them.
It still worries me that he can't process a defense. Like, I can't see it. So I can't buy into the fact that he can do it. Like, I think there's a chance.
But what showed you that he can't process? Because Ole Miss didn't ask him to do that.
That tells me that he might not be able to.
No, because that's what Lane Kiffin has ran that offense before Jackson Dart. It's not. It's a Lane
Kiffin's
thing.
Never produced an NFL quarterback.
He hasn't had a guy as talented as Jackson Dart.
I think there's a world where Jackson Dart is a good quarterback. I do. I think he can be.
So good.
But I also think there's a world where Jackson Dart is Zach Wilson.
Oh, I disagree.
I think
completely disagree.
I'm worried we are just pushing him up because we need another quarterback because Shadur isn't cutting it. And that's why Dart's the next man up. And I just worry that is the case, that we're doing what we did.
He wasn't the next man up. It was Will Howard or Dylan Gabriel or Jalen Milroe was a top 15 pick the whole process.
Jalen Milroe was initially QB3. I'd never heard any hype for Dylan Gabriel. The size was always concerned.
Will Howard easily the top 4 quarterback.
But Will Howard never got that until he got to Ohio State. At Kansas State, Will Howard was not an NFL player.
Well, obviously.
So
But what he did in
going
the playoff
into
run,
this season, Will Howard was not into it until halfway through the year, and he was right there with Jackson Dart.
not even halfway through Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart's all postseason. None of this talk happened during the regular season.
Yeah,
Even during the end of like college season, Jackson Dart was still like quarterback 8 or 10. It's all it's people looking at tape, watching Jackson Dart, looking at what he could do at the first, second, and third level with his arm. And then his feet is just another dynamic, dude. If you can extend drives by picking up 5 to 10 yards every rush, and you're so big, you're so physical, he's so good, dude. I love Jackson Dart.
I just worry.
Yeah, we see him differently. No, we see him differently. That's all it is.
I think he could be an NFL quarterback. But I don't value quarterback. I have Shador lower than consensus. I have Jackson Dart lower than consensus.
I'm going to value the things that are good.
And I have Cam Ward one spot above consensus, which I didn't think I would.
Like, a good quarterback changes your whole team. Look at Jaden Daniels did the Washington. Look at C.J. Stroud did the Houston.
But I saw that with Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud. I don't see that necessary. I think there's too much of a projection for Jackson Dart.
But sometimes you have to take that projection. You just have to do it.
And I think sometimes you got to take the safe player, which is Shadur Sanders.
I agree.
Safe quarterback like Kirk Cousins is fine for an offense and wins you football games.
I disagree. The NFL's done with singles and doubles.
Kirk Cousins doesn't. Well, I would disagree because Matt Stafford wins football games. I think he's
Matt Stafford's a home run. What are you talking about?
I think he has steadied his game more to be a doubles kind of quarterback.
I disagree.
They do a lot of underneath stuff now. They've not always taken the big shots down the field, home run stuff, but Matt Stafford can win you a game when it matters, whereas Kirk Cousins does not. But I think they're similar style players in terms of they're working the field and processing. And that's why I think Shadur Sanders
I look at Matt Stafford like Patrick Mahomes. He is a home run at any moment in the game.
Yeah, see, I think Stafford toned it down a little where like they're doing a lot of underneath stuff and letting the offense open up the field instead of him stretching the field.
I think Puka had like the highest yards per catch out of any receiver in the NFL last year.
But I think his was all catch and stride, run himself. I think he's the one creating that.
Well, that's because that's the Rams' offense. The Rams' offense is literally getting guys in motion.
Stafford hitting him downfield. It's him hitting him.
It's home runs.
It's a double.
Huge plays.
Puka's turning it into the home run. Stafford is the double, and then he's taken off.
See, now Matt Stafford is a home run quarterback easily.
Yeah, a home run throw to me is a 40-plus yard pass. Not
it's guys that can make bigger plays.
But it's Puka or the receiver making it the big play. Stafford's getting him the ball, and then the receiver's turning it into the home run. I think we just have different definition of home run plays. Matt
Stafford is a home run quarterback easily.
He can be, but I think he's toned his game too. He's working the middle of the field.
Yeah, so Matt Stafford's so good he could do anything where Brock Purdy can't. He's not a home run quarterback. I'm bringing up guys that aren't. Brock Purdy, Kirk Cousins. These guys don't win you games.
Okay.
The NFL
in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins led the league in big time plays. So
Kirk Cousins is not a home run quarterback, and sit there and argue that would be hysterical.
But I'm just saying, in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins led the league in big time plays. So that tells you he's a home run hitter.
But he's not, and that's why Matt Stafford's a home run quarterback and Kirk Cousins is not. You can lead the league in big yard plays, but you're not a home run quarterback. So it's not about big plays. It's about big moments and stepping up to when it matters and doing what Patrick Mahomes did in Kansas City.
I'm not denying that Matt Stafford can't do that. I think Matt Stafford has toned his game back. He's not the same quarterback he was in Detroit where he was.
Because he's 40 years old.
But
it's like saying Aaron Rodgers isn't the same quarterback he was in Green Bay.
He's become a much smarter quarterback under McVay than he was in Detroit. It's what I'm saying.
I disagree. Matt Stafford has been one of the smartest quarterbacks in the NFL.
He's become a better processor. In Detroit, he was trying to just win the games because Detroit was abysmal.
That's because he had to.
Yeah, so he comes to LA and he's really showing his football IQ has become way higher. Like you're seeing it more.
No, he's had that. He's always had that.
You're seeing it more. I've never said he didn't have it. You're seeing it more in LA than you did with him in Detroit.
It's a different system. He's getting a chance to slow down his game.
It has unlocked Matt Stafford. It has made Matt Stafford to a Hall of Fame quarterback. He wasn't a Hall of Fame quarterback in Detroit.
Disagree.
LA has turned him into a winner. And he turned LA into a winner.
That's what it is. It's not LA.
It is a perfect wedding.
No, he turned LA into the winner.
Sean McVay got to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, so
and
it
what
was
happened?
Part of that too.
But lost. What happened? Because they didn't have a home run quarterback.
It is a perfect wedding.
Jared Goff is literally the definition of a double quarterback.
Matt Stafford needed Sean McVay as much as Sean McVay needed Matt Stafford.
Disagree. And that's why Sean McVay was so determined to get Matt Stafford. When he had a quarterback that just took him to the Super Bowl, the year after, they're like, we're going to trade that quarterback and 2 first-round picks for a home run quarterback. I would
rather Matt Stafford than Jared Goff. I'm not arguing that.
It's because the home run quarterback.
I'm just saying it's a perfect marriage for both of them. Matt Stafford would have never won in Detroit.
Well, that's because Detroit's garbage.
But Jared Goff went there, and they're winning. Not because of Jared Goff, because they changed the culture, but...
Exactly. Jared Goff has nothing to do with that.
But I don't think...
If Detroit had a home run quarterback, they could have won the Super Bowl.
Then why wouldn't they have just kept Matt Stafford in this situation?
Because they needed to rebuild, and that's what they did. They got a quarterback and 2 first-round picks for him.
Top 10. No. Yeah. Will Johnson.
15.
I was surprised I 16. Had him higher than you. I'm at 13.
Yes.
But the workout, does that concern you?
No.
His workout number was really bad.
I don't care. I've seen him play.
Yes, I agree.
And his tape showed exactly what his workout did. He's bad when he's not looking at the quarterback. He can't keep up with receivers. But if he's watching the field, there's not a play that he can't make. He's a phenomenal zone corner.
Coming into the process, I thought Will Johnson could play any defense. Now, I don't want him in
He could still play man.
Yeah, but I think
he needs help over the top, though.
I think
that's all he needs.
Put him in zone, and you're looking at a elite level corner. In man, you're probably looking at a low end starter.
I think he's going to produce regardless. That's why we have him so high. If he was if he was just a straight zone kind of guy, you'd be lower on the board. I think Will Johnson could play both. I don't want him to play man all the time, but I think he could easily do it.
And then Jahdae Barron, I have him 1 spot ahead of him, 12. He's still my CB2. You had 18. Him. Okay.
18.
So 2 spots
Will
behind.
Johnson. Yeah.
I think Jahdae Barron is going to be that corner that might fall a little.
I agree.
Because I think the NFL is going to see him more as just a straight nickel, sort of like Cooper DeJean.
That's how I see him. That's how I see him.
We saw him as a first-round guy. We had him in our top 10, and he fell into the second.
Oh,
because the NFL thought he was only a nickel corner. But you see that all the time with those guys. And I think Jahdae Barron, like, I have him at 12, you have him at 18. I think he might end up going, like, 25, that range. Like, 20. Yeah. Like Green Bay down. I think Green Bay could take him at 23.
Yeah, I would say he's going to – I think Will Johnson's definitely, like, for sure going to be the corner, too. I look at Barron as just a big nickel corner. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nickel corners are amazing in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you need one for your defense. It's just that I think he's just a nickel corner. I think he's going to play slot. He's going to play inside.
I don't think he's just a nickel. I think he can play outside in zone. I think he's good in that 5-yard range too, but the short arms lend me to, I'd rather him in the nickel, but I think in a pinch, you could put him on the outside.
Yeah, if you need him to, for sure. It's like Will Johnson playing man. If you need him to do it, he can. I would rather him not do it.
Like, if he's there at Seattle's pick, I would consider it. And I think he could play outside in Seattle because they already have an elite level nickel in Devin Witherspoon. But I think they could also run schemes where they can switch them up. And like Devin Witherspoon could play a little outside and Jahdae Barron could play inside. I think it gives them more sets that they can mix and match those guys based off who's lined up across the field on offense.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. The Cam Ward's in your top 10.
Yeah, for sure.
Derek Harmon and Walter Nolan, we saw them similarly. Like, you have Walter Nolan higher because you see the upside with him, whereas I have Derek Harmon a little higher because I think he is this pass rush just savant from the inside, whereas Walter Nolan hasn't quite developed that pass rush technique, but he's a really good run defender. I think he's a better run defender than Derek Harmon, but I similar boats. Jalen Walker, we're also a little lower on than consensus as well. Mm-hmm. He's consensus 7. I have him at 16. You had him at 13?
13.
Okay.
I want him to play off-ball linebacker. I don't want him to play edge.
I'm the opposite. I'd rather him be an edge.
He gets stopped way too easily. He gets engulfed by tackles. He's too small to play edge.
I just want him to be a 3-4 edge rusher.
That's like I just want him to play line. That's what I'm looking at.
I don't want him in a 4-3 defense as just a regular linebacker.
Well, no, because he has to be a blitzing standing linebacker.
Yeah, that's so 3-4 linebacker. Is an edge.
Yeah, but he's still playing out. I look at a 3-4 edge as that's an off-ball linebacker.
Yeah, see, that's an edge rusher to me. It's their pass rushing.
No, because I look at it as the 3-4 edge in a 3-4 edge as the guy playing the line on the edge.
No, I consider that guy an interior guy.
No, see, that guy's the edge.
3-4 edge is the stand-up rusher. Like TJ Watt. TJ Watt is an edge player.
He's a linebacker. I look at him as a linebacker.
Yeah. See, that to me. So you had the Mel Kiper view of players. He is a linebacker because that's his position on the depth chart.
Yes.
He's an edge rusher because he's rushing the passer.
So
that's where
I. So you think 3-4 guys are blitzing 5 guys every time?
No, 3-4 guys blitz. They're
the two. There's 3 guys on the line, then the 2 linebackers.
I don't think they necessarily blitz the one, or they don't necessarily blitz.
The one. What?
I think some of the interior guys, some of them will stand up and they don't rush all the time. But most 3-4 teams, both their linebackers blitz.
Yes, yeah, so you're blitzing the line and the 2 linebackers.
Yeah.
All 3 of the linemen are blitzing.
Oh, no, I think sometimes they're there to hold a gap. And
but see, I still take that as you're rushing the quarterback.
I take that as the 3-4 end is opening the rush lane for the linebacker. That's their job. They're not there to pressure the quarterback. They're there to eat space.
See, I look at guys like Omar Norman-Lott could be a 3-4 edge rusher. He's a smaller, he could play defensive end in a 3-4. We have different mindsets on what
I think 3-4 sets, I consider that all interior defensive line.
Okay, yeah, no, I do not. Because they're the edge of the line.
4-3 defensive ends are edge rushers.
Yeah, we look at that opposite.
Because they're playing.
TJ Watt is a linebacker in my eyes.
Yeah, he's an edge rusher because he's playing over the tackle. I consider anyone over a tackle an edge rusher. Anyone who's lined up guard, center, guard is an interior guy for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, we look at that different.
Yeah. Top 10. 10, I have Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona. 9, I have Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. 8, I have Armin Membu, offensive tackle, Missouri. 7, I have Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall. 6, I have Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan. 5, I have Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State. 4, Mason Graham, interior defensive lineman from Michigan. 3, Ashton Jeanty, the running back, Boise State. 2, Abdul Carter, edge rusher, Penn State. And 1, Travis Hunter, wide receiver, corner, Colorado.
All right. 10, Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan. 9, Omario Hampton, running back, North Carolina. 8, Will Campbell, offensive tackle, LSU. 7, Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona. 6, Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. 5, Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. 4, Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State. 3, Ashton Jeanty, running back, Boise State. 2, Travis Hunter, cornerback, wide receiver, Colorado. 1, Abdul Carter, edge rusher, Penn State.
Okay.
Pretty similar. Sure.
Yeah, I have Membu in my top 10, and you had Cam Ward.
I have Membu at 11, right outside.
Yeah. And I have Mike Green in my top 10, and you had Amari and Hampton. So we have two different players. Hampton. Why is he in your top 10? Let's hear it. I get
there's
it.
not a thing he doesn't do well at running back. Okay. He rushed for 1,600 yards back-to-back seasons at North Carolina. He puts up 30, 40 catch. He can put up all those numbers. He's got great hands. The way he sees holes is maybe as good as Jeanty, if not better. He's so explosive out of the backfield. He's a legitimate 3-down back. His size, his build, his speed. There's not a thing Mario Hampton can't do. I easily think. I remember when we were doing running backs, I said there's not 12 guys better than this guy in the draft. I couldn't come up with 10 guys better than him in this draft class.
Okay. I obviously I did. I have him at 18, but
I got him at 9.
Yeah, I see it more than I did there. I just
He's so
there
smooth.
there
Oh.
are some things. I don't think he moves laterally as well as Genty. Like I think he kind of gets stuck in the mud sometimes if he's got to move laterally. I think he's better in between the tackles. Plays a little high at times. Like I said, his contact balance, like he does the contact, but the next time he kind of gets off balance. Like he'll break the tackle, but I think it breaks his balance, and then he's tackled almost immediately. But yeah, I think he's an RB1. I think he's a bell cow back at the next level. I think he should go first round. Willie, I think that's like a 75% chance he does, but I do see a world where he does fall into the second round. I just don't think anyone is Ashton Janty.
I think he's close.
Yeah.
I think he's so close, dude.
See, I hold Janty the same way I held Barkley and Bijan. I think he is that level of prospect. I don't think Amari Hampton is that level.
Look at Genty right on the outside of that prospect, and that's where I have Amari Hampton as well.
Yeah.
Like Genty's obviously above him. That's why I have him at 3 compared to 9. But I would say they're both right there, dude, with like, who did I look at really? I know Breece Hall didn't go into the second, but I had Breece Hall as like an almost borderline blue chip prospect. And that's where Genty and Hampton is. I wouldn't say Genty's blue chip quite yet, but that's the only guy that's not in the top 3. Carter's a blue chip prospect. Hunter's a blue chip prospect. Genty's a toss or miss. Sometimes I'll sit here and be like, Genty's a blue chip prospect. He's great. He's phenomenal. And then some other days I'm just like, he's really, really, really good, dude. I get it.
Is it because he's a running back?
No, I have no problems giving blue chips to run. No, I have no problems with that.
I think he's the lock and loaded blue chip guy. Like, he reminds me so much of LaDainian Tomlinson. He does.
Yeah, so I don't see that. I think he's great.
Like,
I think he's like a really good Alvin Kamara. I get that comp it brings up a lot, but it's the way I see him. And I don't think Alvin Kamara is like he's a really good running back. I think Genty's going to have more rushing yards in his career than Alvin Kamara for sure. He's a way better rusher, but he does stuff very similar. The way he catches the ball, the way he explodes, the way he breaks tackles, slips in between the gaps.
I lean into Genty as a prospect more like, I see him more like LT and like Marshawn Lynch and MJD, way better running backs than Alvin Kamara.
Like, I wouldn't even say he holds the torch. Like, the way I look at Barkley, dude, is nowhere close to Genty. Yeah. Barkley coming out of Penn State was a god. Genty's really good. He's amazing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's not.
Yeah,
I would take like Bijan over him for sure.
I hold him same boat as Barkley. He's one of the best running backs I've ever scouted. I like Hampton's tape. I like him more coming out than I liked Breece Hall and Kenny Walker. Ken Walker I had above Breece Hall in their class, but I had them.
Not this guy.
I had them both the second round guys, not first round dudes.
I had Breece Hall as a first for sure.
Yeah, I didn't. I was a lot higher on Ken Walker than I was Breece Hall coming out. But yeah, no, Hampton, I think there's a 75% chance he's a first round pick. I do think there's a chance he does fall out and I think the only reason he would is because he's a running back. And it's just the position teams don't pick in the first round.
See, the way he would fall out of the first is just based off of how deep the running back class is.
Yeah.
I think as a running back, he's a first round talent. But you got guys like Henderson, Judkins. It's all about schemes. But he fits Denver so well, dude. I don't think he falls out of the first.
Yeah. I think there's a chance, like I said, running back, it's unless like I don't have him on the level that like Jahmyr Gibbs was coming out. I like Gibbs as a prospect better than Hampton. Gibbs,
not me.
I had Gibbs barely as like a first round guy. So I have them in the same boat, but I liked Gibbs more than him. But I would take him first round. I do think he ends up going there, but I understand him not being there just because it's the NFL doesn't value running back as much. Whereas like I think if he does fall out of the first round and Cleveland's there at 33, they should be picking him.
I would say he's going 33 or 34. I don't think we would let him go. We've brought in a ton of running backs for interviews. And there's like a statistic that if you bring in 2 or 3 more running backs during your interview, it's like a 70% chance you draft a running back in the first 3 rounds. Tyrone Tracy's amazing. He way outperformed his 5th round draft pick. But I think we're going to be looking for.
He's an RB2.
Yeah, I think we're bringing in a guy that's like Judkins, Omario Hampton, God forbid, Cam Scattaboo, Damian Martinez. I think we're bringing in a big running back in the draft this year.
Yeah, I like Caleb Johnson. You guys, he
I would
provides
love
you.
Caleb Johnson, dude.
He is the perfect counterpart to Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah,
and it's funny because they were both at Iowa at one point together, though Tracy was a receiver there. Mike Green, we've talked him up. I have him at 7. He was just outside your top 10.
Yeah, I'm at 12.
Okay, yeah, I think Mike Green's an absolute dog. Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren. I think we're looking at 2 very special tight end prospects. Like,
for sure,
they're not Brock Bowers, but they're in that next tier.
Warren's pretty close, dude.
So, I mean, I have Loveland equal to Warren in grade.
See, I don't. I just
valued Warren because he's a better blocker. Loveland,
I would say Warren's as close as a blue chip as Genty is. He's like so close to being a blue chip prospect.
I think Tyler Warren is a blue chip prospect. I just don't think he's in the same boat. I think Brock Bowers was.
See, I don't think he's a blue chip prospect. Like, I think there's only 2 of those guys in the draft.
If Brock Bowers was in this draft class, he would be 3 for me. I'd have him over Genty.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I just think Brock Bowers last year was just stuck in this incredibly deep draft class. Like, we kind of just lost sight of how good of a prospect.
I mean, Joe Alt was like our 5th guy in any other draft. Joe Alt would be 1.
Joe Alt would be 2 on my big board.
I would have
Travis
him 1.
Hunter over him. And
I think Joe Alt was in this class. There's a chance if Tennessee didn't love Cam Ward, it would be Joe Alt. I think Joe Alt could easily be the first pick of any draft class.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I have him 2.
And he went like 5th or 6th. Yeah. But then you're also looking at like guys like Marvin Harrison, Malik. We got Malik Neighbors at 5. Malik Neighbors would easily be the best receiver in this class. Wouldn't even be close.
It even falls with quarterbacks. Like, there's a chance, like Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy in this class. There's a case that can be made that they're the 1st or 2nd pick.
Yeah.
Like,
Cam Ward would be like quarterback 4 to 6 in last year's draft class.
Yeah,
but that doesn't. I hate that argument.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if you would put Penix into this class,
I like
doing it that way. I like doing the reverse instead of bringing Cam Ward into that class. Let's bring in Michael Penix or JJ McCarthy. I guess Penix really couldn't have come out realistically. If JJ McCarthy's in this class, I think there's a case JJ McCarthy gets picked 1st overall over Cam Ward.
Not by me. You know how I felt about that guy.
There's that chance JJ McCarthy took that next step, though. So
yeah, for sure.
We don't know, but his projectile being younger, and I think he would have taken that next step at Michigan. I think Michigan would have been a way better football team this year if JJ McCarthy was their quarterback.
Maybe he would have passed the ball more than 4 times a game if he would have came back. So.
I mean, he passed the ball enough that Colston Loveland's a dog, top 10 prospect.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And it certainly wasn't because he was getting the ball that well this year.
He was fine this year.
He was fine, but his tape in 2023 was much better.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No, the J.J. McCarthy situation is literally how I told it needed to happen. So I hope to God he succeeds. He needed the year off. He got an amazing coach. And obviously you guys believe in him.
We do.
But he needed it. I don't care if it's in a good way or a bad way. He needed that year.
Mason Graham, are there any concerns? Does the small arms worry you? Do you think there's a chance he doesn't go at 5 to Jacksonville?
Sure, they could take Jalen Walker. I think Tyler Warren is in the mix at 5. That's something that's not talked about.
I think Ashton Janty's in the mix at 5.
A little bit, but I think Liam Cohen with Tyler Warren would be a phenomenal fix. I would love that.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville, like, I know it's the chalk pick, lock Mason Graham in at 5, but I do think Jalen Walker's on the table for them. I think Tyler Warren's on the table for them. I think Will Campbell and Armin Membu are on the table for them. And I think Will
Campbell's almost like a lock at this point at 4.
I'm saying if he's there. If he's there at 5, I think Will Campbell could easily be their pick.
Yeah, for sure. Jacksonville, because he kick in. He helps Jacksonville so much on that offensive line. I also
think Ashton Janty there is a sneaky thing that, like, if that happens, don't be surprised.
I mean, that team definitely hates ETN and Tank Bigsby. 100%.
This is a new team. We don't know how he feels about ETN and Bigsby.
No, any new coach goes into that team.
Doug Peterson hated both those guys.
Any reasonable coach is going to go to Jacksonville and be like, I need a new running back. Is ETN even good?
I don't know. Exactly.
He's been playing for like 5 or 6 years, and we still don't know if he's good. How long does it take?
I don't think Etienne is an RB1. I think he is better in the Tank Bigsby role where he is doing pass catching work, and I don't think he's got to carry the workload, and that's what he's had to do in Jacksonville, and that's not his.
It's not.
Yeah,
he's been good for like good stretches.
Yeah,
he just consistently put together a year.
The RB2 gadget running back, like he was at Clemson as well, but he was the starter. But he did more of the pass work.
Yes.
Like they weren't asking him to carry the ball 20 times a game like they have in Jacksonville. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. He would be a great number 2 system back in like a Ben Johnson system.
Yep.
Like it's an RB1, RB2 kind of thing where you're both getting a ton of touches, but you're brought in to change the pace. You're the speed back. You're more dynamic. You're more elusive. And then just bring in this big David Montgomery to wear down the defenses to make it way easier for you to have these huge 50, 60, 70-yard explosive runs. Etienne's a way better RB2.
Yeah, but don't be surprised if Jacksonville takes Janty at 5.
Well, no, because he's great.
Yeah. All right.
Genty's board's literally 4 down, 5 down.
Yeah.
I think he can go to New England. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, I brought that up months ago. 4 to shoot 12. I don't think he falls past Dallas.
I think there's a chance he falls past Dallas.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it would depend on who's on the board.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dallas. If there's like Dallas, a receiver, and they might take a receiver.
If Tet was there, I think they go McMillan over Janty. I don't think they go Golden over Janty.
Who am I to know? I think they can go Golden over him.
Yeah, I mean, who knows Jerry Jones? Yeah,
exactly. He's a freak athlete, dude.
They'll take Amarian Hampton over Janty.
Hey.
Yeah, not there with that. All right.
I'm not saying I'm there, but
I'd
probably question it.
We're not recapping. We're not going 100 to 1.
My voice does not have that.
I'm working on some things. I've set up a TikTok months ago, and I was going to do like mock drafts there, just team specific stuff, but that might be more towards a next year thing. But I also opened up a Substack, which is something where you could read material. Like I could post my big board there, and you can look at it there. So I'm going to try to be a little more active. I might get your stuff, post that on Substack, and I'll put the link somewhere once that's up and running. And that's where you can find our fantasy rankings. That way you don't have to scroll through the videos and find them and write them down, stuff like that. So we're going to utilize that going forward. But we'll be back on Monday.
TJ, who's your 154?
154?
154. Random number. Quick, go.
Ty Hamilton, the interior defensive lineman from Ohio State.
Okay, nice. Mine is Craig Woodson, safety from Cal.
Oh, I have that guy in like the 200s.
Oh, no way, dude. I think Cal's secondary is great. I think they have 3 guys drafted on draft night.
Oh, I think he's going to get drafted. I think
he's going to go. I think he's like a 4th round guy.
I have him at 224. He's literally the second to last guy I've ranked.
Whoa, he's so good.
Where do you have Isaiah
Very
Bond?
underrated safety. I've ranked 175 people, and Isaiah Bond is not one of them.
Wow.
I will not put that guy on my draft board.
I know you don't like him. I still ranked him. I have him at 149. So way lower than where he was initially.
Not an Isaiah Bond guy.
Yeah. I have Isaac Tesla at 135. Big fan of him. When I was doing my board, I had to unfortunately pull off Kyron Lacey because he died. We never talked about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a very sad situation.
Yeah. Mental health. I know what he did. Like he killed a guy who involuntary manslaughter with his car. So I don't know. I'm not going into detail. I don't know for sure what happened, but
the whole situation is sad.
It just fucked him up mentally, and he didn't seek help, and he essentially killed himself through getting chased by the cops. Or so
reach out to your loved ones. They all love you.
Yep.
We love you. Reach out to us. I'll tell you I love you. I'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right, guys. Drafted a podcast. That's in the books. Almost 2 hours here with our big
100 people.
Yeah. I expected this one to go a little long.
It's kind of just like we're here. This is we're here. This is a nonchalant episode. We're relaxing. We got heated about Matt Stafford not being a Hail Mary home run quarterback, whatever you kind of. He's great.
We have
Matt
different
Stafford's
definitions
phenomenal.
of home run quarterbacks. That is ultimately the end all of the argument. Was we just have different definitions.
Different takes on that, and then different takes on 3-4 edge rushers.
Yeah, and you're old school. You look at the depth chart. I see a guy who's
position by
rushing,
position,
who's rushing the passer, so he's an edge rusher.
I get it.
Yeah. All right. You know where to find us, _drafted_up_pod
Yeah, we're
over
here.
at Twitter.
We're always here.
Like,
Let
rate,
us
subscribe,
know your
review
top
the show.
10s, top 100.
Yeah.
Just let us know what
Or,
you guys think.
just
We're
give
at
us a
draft time.
guy.
Talk to us about draft. Yeah.
Give us a guy in the comments who you think should be in the top 100 who we didn't have. I'm sure there's a ton of
For
them.
sure.
Like, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
David
Everyone's
Walker,
board's different.
Edge.
That's the cool part about building a board. And you find out things like Billy Bowman is consensus like 88, and it blows you away because you love that guy and you have him at 106, and you're like, how am I lower than consensus on Billy Bowman Jr.?
I agree, dude. I have Billy Bowman at 111. He's undersized safety, but he's so explosive. He's willing to do whatever he can for a team.
High IQ guy too.
Oh, dude, his football IQ is going to keep him on the field for many years. The same with the safety from Alabama. Like, he's not going to do anything that like blows you away statistically or trait wise, but he's so much smarter than the people that he's playing against. They're just going to be playing for years, dude. Even as like safety twos, there's a lot of second contract guys in this draft.
Yeah. I heard Daniel Jeremiah, and then I'll wrap this up. He described this draft as it's not a stars draft, it's a starters draft.
Yeah. This is a draft that is going to make many teams way better if they're able to hit on a lot of
3 to 4
picks.
starters. If you play your cards right. And we've said it's not a top-heavy draft. You have 2 blue chippers. I have 4, 5.
Yep.
Colston Loveland's close too. I might have 6.
Whoa. Keep adding them.
I think.
But like,
I think the spiciest hot take is I think there is a 5% chance Colston Loveland gets picked before Tyler Ward.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's why I said 5%.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's get out of here. Drafted Up Podcast. We appreciate you guys.
Wrap it up.
Monday.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Monday. We really need a producer. Monday. Mock draft. Final mock draft. 2 rounds. We'll see you then.
Hell yeah. 2 rounds. Bye.